So yeah, we did this already. This is from last time we talked about the IQP positions. We saw many interesting ideas for both sides. Something with changing lanes with the bishop, I think, was one idea that we checked in this position, that we should keep the pressure and so on Black's camp. But anyway, now we will turn the page and we will talk about something completely different. We'll talk a little about space in the endgame. So to get us in the right mood, I will show you something. Exactly, space in the endgame 1, Razor. I'll show you something, a little exercise, which I think it's not from a game. It's something I looked up myself. We have this position. Please don't write in the chat. Just look at the positions. I love endgames for some reasons. It sounds like maybe because they're very entertaining. You can see we have an interesting situation here. White has an outside passed pawn. Black seems to be in some danger. White's king could give up the pawn and go and take these pawns in some way. That will be White's natural plan here, right? So what can Black do here? Well, that's your mission here. Your mission is to save Black, okay? We will start with a little quiz. You will save Black, and actually in our variation, you will even, I think you will even win the game, if I'm not mistaken. In our variation, you will even win the game because I will play in the wrong way, I think. Is that what's going to happen here? Yeah, I think so. That is what's going to happen here. So we'll see if you can figure out how you are going to win this game. Let's see. Let me see if I can bring this up correctly. Yeah, like that, right? And like this, and like that, and like that. Okay, you get 1 minute because you're very fast thinkers. So, yeah, I'm not going to tell you draw or win. You have to just do the best you can here. Okay? Try to do the best you can. There are two very obvious candidate moves, right? I would not send my move right now. I would certainly think, if I were you, I would think for at least 20 more seconds before I send the first move, right? Yeah, then you make a draw, maybe. Darial. Yeah, then you make a draw. Darial, Elephant, Brian, Nicole, Kan King, Sam, Connor, John, Sam. Aha. Chess Samurai. Yeah, that's okay. Chess Samurai and L. You found it. Congratulations. There is only one move order by Chessable. No, Chessable Classroom, fantastic place. But I can only assign one variation as correct. Michael, you played the way that I was planning this exercise. But great work by Michael. But also what Chess Samurai and L said is also perfectly fine. Okay, time's up. Very tricky exercise. Yeah, we won't talk too much about this because I want to show you some other stuff. But in any case, yeah, time is very low, of course. We will ask Chess Samurai. Please go ahead, Chess Samurai. How was your solution here? So F4, that's one of the candidates. The other candidate was E4, which in a way looks more natural. But there is a big problem with E4. We will come to that. But F4 is the best choice. What White should do here, they should just settle for a draw. I should just take this pawn, play King D3. And yeah, what would you play here? Who is playing here, by the way? Chess Samurai. Yeah, we play G3 here or on the next move and we just fix a draw, right? This ends in a draw in this case. Exactly. So, interesting for us is to see what happens if White is actually playing for a win. Why would White not play for a win, you would say? Their king is much closer. But there you have the name of this class. The name of this class gives you the answer. Why does White not win this and why do they even lose this? Right? Please go ahead, Chess Samurai. F3. There you have the name of our class. What did Black do? They gained space, no? Vertical space, right? We will talk about here vertical space. Very important in endgames in general, perhaps a bit no, not underestimated, a bit neglected in literature. Well, that's what I tend to think, no? I don't know if you see space like a chapter in opening books, in endgame books and so on, but never mind. Enough talking. Let's have a look here. I go with the king and I have to take one of the two pawns. We will start checking what happens if I take the e pawn. Okay, we're waiting, Chess Samurai. And it appears as if white is going to win because they take the pawn first. But it's actually the complete opposite. It's black who wins. Why do they win? Well, because they have more space with the pawn, right? So we can stop. We can look even further if you like. I'll play king h4. Just for everybody to understand what's going on here, we'll have a pawn race, but since black's pawn is closer, much closer to the queenie square, black is winning. Yeah, all right, you want some rest, Chess Samurai, no problem. So this is basically what you get here. Black wins by 2 tempi, right? Or even 3 tempi, you would say, because if white queened, that would be queen h1. But maybe white could have put the king on some other square. Let's say 2 tempi. Yeah, here it's 3 tempi, but maybe we should say 2 tempi because possibly in this position I could go somewhere else. No, I couldn't, right? I couldn't go to the f file because I got checked when I couldn't go to h3. And if I go to h5, yeah, I go to h5, of course. Of course, yeah, you're smarter than me. Exactly. This is what would be only 2 tempi. Yeah, okay? Do we agree on that? Black wins by 2 tempi, not 3 tempi, because if white could queen, black would not pick up the check the queen for free because white's king would get that. Exactly. So just all you need is 2 tempi. Yeah, 1 tempo is very often enough in most endgames. So 2 tempi is a luxury. So anyway, back to business. I think we understood the first line here, okay? But let's do it from the very beginning. We are saying that white looks like if they have the advantage, but if they play king d3, believe it or not, they are actually lost after the move f3. A few things we should straighten out here. If I play king c3, it doesn't make a big difference, right, Samurai? Are you still here, Samurai? Yeah, exactly. We go e4 anyway, and it's just the same thing. Again, I must say, optically for me, this is like an optical illusion, at least for me. It seems to me that I'm going to lose now with black, but it's actually the opposite. So we're all learning now. I feel like a loser here, but I'm actually a winner due to this same variation. Concrete calculation, exactly. Yeah, sure. Thanks, Chess Samurai. We should look into the other variation. So who else got this right, by the way? Let's see here. We had L also. So L, maybe you can help us out with the other line, L, if I go for the other pawn instead. Let's see. Here. Okay, where is L? So that L can also join the party here. Okay, L, we're waiting. King, I'll try to be clever now and take the other pawn instead. But of course, as you can imagine, this will end in complete failure. Oh, you could play e4 also. Yeah, I think it just transposes queen Alapin Slayer. Yeah, fantastic handle, by the way. Yeah, I think it just transposes. And again, you can see space comes to black's help, right? Thanks to this space. Here you win by many tempi because you're checking with queen, right? Queenie with check, sorry. So yeah, it's basically over here, right? King takes and black wins. Nice, very, very tricky. So in the end, f4 is a good move. White should just take the pawn and make a draw with king d3. If they go for a win instead, they actually lose thanks to this key move, f3. E4, king d4. Yeah, so let's talk briefly about the other line. Yeah, if you play e4, all of those here, Tori, Chess, and so on, who said e4, you're actually losing the game now. But maybe I should make that a quiz instead. What do you think? Should we make it a quiz? I think we will. Yeah, we'll make it a quiz. These endgames are always entertaining. Let's see who can figure out the smart way in which white wins this game. By the way, here it's not about space. Space is not an element here, I would say. So white to play and win after the faulty e4. Let's see who can find that. Yeah, I think you make a draw only. No Yugoslavian, Condor, Racer, Khan, King, Sam, and Southwark. Else, I'm very sorry, but I think I make a draw then, yeah. Okay, GM, Chess Samurai, Queen, Alapin, Slayer, Brian, Alg, Vish, Liokoko, sorry, bad with that name pronunciation, Darial, and so on. Many people got this right. Sheng, Yongjal. I gave you too much time. You found this very quickly. Yeah. Too much quiz time this time. Javin Amra, Oski, Aswin, and everyone else. Yeah. Nice. We're talking non-captures. No, non-captures. Non-captures. You don't need to take always, right? Non-captures. That's maybe a topic for another class. Non-captures and non-recaptures. That's what happened here. Michael, you also got it. Yeah. Congratulations, everyone. Fianchetto got it. All right, Fianchetto, you can show us. We have some hands are raising here. I don't know. Is there anything you would like to share? You can just share it in the chat. No problem. So, okay, go for it, Fianchetto. Oh, no, I gave it to Liu Coco, but you also found it, Liu Coco, so you can do it, Liu Coco. All right, Tori Chess has her hand raised. Yeah. We're waiting, Liu Coco, or you're maybe away from the computer. Okay, somebody who is not away from the computer. We will ask, Fianchetto. Are you there, Fianchetto? No. King d4. Yeah, that's not a difficult move. Of course, we should not go that way. Anyone what will black play here? Basic pawn endgame ideas. Aha, f4, says Gordon and Darial and so on. Michael, f4, of course. We all know about pawn breaks. No, that's really good to know. By the way, pawn breaks are also closely related to space, right? The pawn breaks will work out better if your pawn is about the queen and theirs is not the queen, right? The horizontal space it's making vertical space makes a big difference here because the further space you have, the better for chances after a pawn break. Anyway, back to Fianchetto. King d4, king takes b4. Please go ahead, Fianchetto. I'll try to defend here. And there was a crucial moment here that some of you understood here. At this point, this is the crucial moment. Fianchetto understood that, okay, no problem, you cook. King f4, the non-capture. Now, please notice you don't always have to take, right? This is a smart move because we are slowing down black, you could say, in a way. We are making them play king d4, and then we can take the pawn, and we are winning easily, of course. Aha, exactly. Well, if I go for the pawn, now we take, but you should take carefully the pawn, the most dangerous pawn we should take, right? So that we can pick up the other pawn. Exactly, white wins. So what a tricky endgame, though. What a tricky pawn endgame. Those of you who said this, yeah, you can see for yourself. This ends in a draw, right? Because I take it. Since I'm threatening this, I'm coming back. Queen up, Alapix Slayer, white pawn endgames require complete calculation, knowing these patterns. Pawn break guide calculation. Right. It's treasure sense to get them. Exactly. Wow, you sound like a chess writer. That's a great way of explaining, yeah. Calculation is very important, but we can be helped. Our calculation be simplified by these general topics and so on. We don't have so much time on the clock, as you're saying, so that's really important. Okay, any questions or anything? We are talking about this position from black's perspective. We looked at this from white's perspective also, and we are saying that black should play f4 with a tricky idea that if king d3, that is f3, and actually at this point black wins. So white must avoid this. That was our conclusion. So let me tell you that I made a little experiment, okay? A little experiment. So I took this position. Let's flip it to see it from white's perspective. So we are crying here with white. No, we are crying because we will lose this game. They will bring in the king and take the pawn, and they win thanks to their better space. So my next question would be, if we just move everything rank up on the board, one file up on the board, would we then still be crying? That's my question. Let's see if we can do this here. Yeah. So you see what I did? I see what I did. You see what I did, right? I pushed all the pieces upwards. So question here, result. Would anyone care to figure that out? Yeah, no, it's white to move. Yeah, white to move. It's a draw, exactly. If you remember, we said that there were two tempi in black's favor last time. So that's one tempo for white and one tempo for black, so to speak. It will be equal now. But no, it's not one tempo. How can I explain this? White gains one tempo for their race, and black loses one tempo in their race. Is that making sense? White's pawn has only 4 squares to queen, but now black's pawn has 3 squares to queen. While in the previous example, it was, if we go back to make this as simple as possible, here we were saying that when the pawn is on f3, it has only 2 squares, and white needs 5 squares. So some kind, one tempo minus one tempo. Explain it the way you would like yourself, okay? I cannot explain it in a better way. I would just say that white gains 2 tempi by this alteration because their pawn is closer by 1 step and black's pawn is one step further away from queening. Okay, maybe we should look at this in concrete terms. Anyone who would like to, do we have a volunteer? Anyone who would like to play this out with white? Me. Okay, Sarthak, you were fastest. And do something. Raise your hand, Sarthak, or something, because everybody is... here is Sarthak. All right. So go for it, Sarthak, and see if you can at least make a draw here. I don't think it will be very difficult, though. So we're waiting, Sarthak. We're waiting. Exactly. I'll play in exactly the same way. I think I know which pawn you should take, by the way. Yeah, time is money, Sarthak. Time is money. Yeah. Oh, that makes a draw also? Oh, interesting. I actually didn't look at this, but you're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right. This is also drawn then. You're actually even faster in this case. You see what I mean? Now we're actually... white's gonna queen first in this case. Yeah, please don't take the pawn. White's gonna queen first, and it's gonna be a draw, right? Yeah, it's gonna be a simple draw because you get the first check also, and so on. So yeah, this would be elementary draw. My queen is not in a good place to stop perpetuals and so on. So this is a easy way to draw Sarthak. I agree. Yeah, most should make a draw here, but you can maybe just start checking it, so on. So please notice what happened here. We had this position, white played e5, black played e4, and it was an easy draw. What did we have last time? Well, if we go back to the other example, we had in one of the variations, which was the variation? This, right? Oh, no, sorry. Where was this? I'm trying to remember how we got to that other position. Yeah, it was like this, right? I think. We took, and the king walked in, and the king got like that, right? So, yeah, you see what I mean? Now it's only 2 steps left to queen. White needs more. Yeah, I think I don't need to explain this any more times. We understand, yeah? We understand this, I think, perfectly. The space factor greatly favors black in this case. Okay, one last question then, The black queen's first, but white's in time. Exactly, Michael, you could say that. Very last example here. Yeah, but this is very obvious for all of you, but I'll show you anyway, just for the sake of... Yeah, exactly. Razor, you're explaining this very well. White pawns, forward right, get a tempo. Essay. 2 tempi, exactly. And now, of course, everybody understands. What happens here? Now it's, of course, white who has a lot of extra time now. So white is winning by 2 tempi here, as you can imagine, right? Santos, you said 1-0, so okay. You can show us then, Santos, yeah? You can show us. Santos will show us. Why to play and win? Extremely simple. Yeah, no way we get this wrong. That's a very principled approach. Actually, if you play king f7, I make a draw. Did you know that, Santos? Could you imagine that? Anyone but the black play here? Just by a miracle, black saves a draw here. Yeah, by a simple, everybody found this. Young, Nicole, Razor, and so on. Of course, e5, and actually black is just in time. So well done, Santos. You escaped that little pitfall. All right, king c7, and the rest is easy, of course. I guess you win by 2 tempo this time, right? Or no? It's like the other way around this time. It's the other way around. Yeah, what did you play? King h7. Yeah, I take the pawn, and you win by a few tempi here, I think. Let's see, just for fun. Let's see how many tempi. You queen now. So what does that mean? 2 tempi, right? 2 tempi, I think. Because if the pawn was on f2, you would win by queen c4 anyway, right? Okay, we don't care about the tempi, yeah, but I think it's 2 tempi, yeah, but no, 2.5 tempi. No, there are no half tempi. But never mind. I think we understand the picture now. So let's continue. These 3 examples, something about vertical space, right? Vertical space. The more advanced, the better for us. The more advanced our opponent, of course, the worst for us. This is already critical. Please notice this nice pattern of f4, f3. All right, let's talk a little about space from some other angles. So one way to understand space could be the distance towards queening, right? Towards queening, the queening square, right? But space could also be the space for our pieces, you could say. It could also refer to the range of our pieces, right? I'll try to write this here or pieces, the number of squares available for them, right? So let's see if I can explain that in a good way. Let's see if we bring up one example here. Very, very simple example, but it also allows me to talk a little about horizontal space. So let's take this example. We will check this from black's perspective, okay? We're playing black. Please notice the pawn is going this way, all right? It's your move, guys. I think this will not be difficult for you. Please don't send me the answer. Please don't send me the answer. Do me a favor and just continue the variation. That's all I need. All right, you get 45 seconds because I think it's going to be very easy. Yeah, you're right, Alec. Frontal attack. Finally, in the endgame, I know, says Michael. Okay, good to hear that. So that's right, Racer, Queen, Alpine, Slayer, Chess Samurai, Michael. That's correct. Uh-oh, those of you who give that check, not good for you. Don't do that, please. I think you're giving me a vital tempo here, but I can be wrong, of course. Yeah, I can certainly be wrong. So maybe that works also. But I have a bad feeling for that move. I feel like you're helping my king to go forward. All right, we'll talk about that. Rohan, John Sam, Connor, Oski, Gordon, and so on. You also got it right. The frontal attack, Dada Apple, and Richard, you also knew it. Great work. So please go ahead, Rohan. You can tell us what was black's best approach here. So what is Rohan doing? Why is the rook going to the last rank? Of course, you know this, so you don't need any explanations. But for somebody who never saw this position before, it would be puzzling. Why does black play like that? Well, it turns out that white's pieces are coming forward. We need more space for our rook, right? So now we have more space. I mean, space like this. That's what I'm trying to say. Well, better to play it out than to talk. So please continue, Rohan. We will fix this very quickly so that everybody's convinced about this being black's best way of playing. Please notice that if white's king could reach a square placed diagonally from the pawn, like e6, they would have a good chance of winning, right? That would be the right winning plan. But we don't make it here. And as you can see, if the king goes here, only one move here, but it's enough. Exactly. And I have to go back, and I didn't make any progress in this case. I think Rohan will just continue with his attack until I escape the checks. And by then, yeah, this is a big threat now, right, Rohan? And you don't want me to play that now either, so you would simply play here. Rook J. Yeah, great work, Rohan. Yeah, excellent work. That's how it goes. So some of you said here the move Rook F6. Yeah, by the way, you can see the difference here. If I do this, I get less space from my rook, right? And you understand this, of course, it's not good anymore. Extremely basic what we're saying here, but okay, it's always good to start with basics. Yeah, white wins. So please go 2 steps. Those of you who said Rook F6, by principle, it's worse, right? Because you let me do this. But I couldn't actually figure this out. Right now, anyone who understands this, white wins maybe some smart way. I couldn't figure it out. Rook E7 to build some kind of bridge for the king later. But does that work really, you Coco? I don't think so. No? It doesn't make sense, I think, to play that. We have a new user, Super 2. Super, okay. I'm trying to add Super 2. Yeah. All right. No, so maybe it's okay also Rook F6. I think so. Well, it's probably okay to play Rook F6 also. It just looks like a little, amateurish to play like that if we already know the right plan. But maybe there is no difference if you play like that. Yeah, Rook G8 is theoretically better, but maybe both draw. So I think it's okay then. Yeah, it's okay. So good for you. Congratulations if you said Rook F6, but I would not recommend this on some other occasion. I would try to play in the spirit of this endgame. I would secure my space as soon as I can. But it appears it did not make a big difference on this occasion. I'm still a little puzzled, though. The check is not doing anything, right? If I give this check, it provides no benefits, I guess. You could just bring the king closer, I guess. And yeah, that doesn't seem to make any sense. That was my whole point, of course, to keep the king cut off also. So, okay, fair enough. Let's do something. We have this position, and we have understood that by this or by that, black makes a draw. They increase the range for the rook, vertical range, and in that way, they make a draw. Now, next question. If I take this position and I move it to the right. All right, let's move it to the right. Let's see if I can do this. Move everything to the right. We would get this position, right? Like, I knew this was going to happen. Yeah, sorry about that, Oski, if I'm very predictable, but that's the way we're learning, right? So, simple question here. Is this the same thing? White wins. Everyone says white wins. All right. So, if you're secure about that, we should make it a quiz, right? So that everybody gets a chance to... I'll play Rook f8, and everybody gets a chance here to show off their endgame knowledge. All right, here we go. I'll try to do this as fast as I can. Be a little patient with me, please. Yeah, I think that's enough. Yeah, okay, that's enough. Like that. Okay, you get only 25 seconds because everybody's saying white's winning, so you must have seen it a long time ago. Interesting. I didn't see that move, Young and Liokoko. I thought about something else. Maybe that works also, your plan. I would play King C6 there, and... yeah, I'm not really convinced. Okay, we will talk about it. Michael, Visheng, Richard, Sarthak, Zakpan, Queen, Alapin, Slayer, Oski, and many other. You got it right. Okay, please go ahead, Michael. Tell us what was the way to continue here with white pieces. Why does white suddenly win this when they didn't win it last time? So please go ahead, Michael. Quickly show us, please. Or maybe Michael is away from the keyboard. All right. Oh, no, Michael is back. So I'll try the same technique and look at what happened here. What's the big difference? It turns out that we have an extra file at our available for us. This is the kind of distance that we're always looking for. And black is lost. The check does not make sense anymore, Michael, right? I'm running out of space. I needed another rank for myself. I needed like a ninth rank here. If I had a Rook H9, I would play Rook G9. No, I would play Rook... yeah, Rook G9, right? Then, or maybe something like that. Yeah, very confusing. So I'll play instead the Rook F8 here. And then Rook F1, exactly. And we are winning here in one way or another. I can try to bring the king closer. But white's king is already in a very good place, which means that the king will now help the pawn to advance, right? Exactly, Michael, that's right. And white's winning here. Black is simply too slow to... yeah, I cannot play this, for instance, or whatever you would like to play. Exactly. So you see, difference now, horizontal space, horizontal space. If we look, we have now one more flank, which means that we win this endgame with white. But in the other example, it was not like that, right? In the other example that we just had, we had this position instead. And then suddenly it turned out that black could make a draw like that. So, yeah. That's it. That's it. I think we understand this also. Let's continue. We saw so many examples like educational examples. I wanted to show you something from practical play. I have a question. Which world champion was comparatively stronger in endgames than in other areas? Endgames than in other areas. Sorry if it's badly said in English, but I think you see what I mean. Aha. Yeah, exactly. But probably Capablanca is also there, but Smyslov was my supposed answer now. So I thought we could see one endgame by Smyslov where he actually uses this space feature. So Smyslov was playing with black pieces here in this position. You can see that in most cases, 2 pawns versus 1 in Rook endgames on the same flank. Most of them are drawn, but here you can see that white has been pushed back quite a lot, and they are very passive in this position. So, anyone, should we do a quiz on this? Yeah, we can do a quiz on this. Yeah, it's more fun, I guess. So, we will do a little quiz here. Let's see if you can play like Vasily Smyslov did some, what can it be, 70 years ago. All right. I think that's enough, right? Yeah, that's enough. So you get 40 seconds for this. So let's see. How should black continue here? Oh, we have a little problem here. We have a little problem. Great that you said that. Yeah, great that you said that. We will learn something from this example. You have... everybody here is missing something. Think about space. But space for whom? Actually, space for the black rook. Only Alg. We have smartest thinker here is Alg. Second smartest thinker is Vish. Congratulations to both of you. You show the same patience in the endgame as famous, well, maybe the best endgame player ever, well, in competition with Magnus Carlsen and so on. But Vasily Smyslov is definitely one of the greatest endgame players ever. You can learn a lot from his games. Let's check with Alg. Explain to us, Alg, what should we play here? Aha, Rook A3. But if 98% of students here said G3, what can be wrong with G3? Anyone who would like to explain to me what's wrong with G3? Isn't that easily winning? We just take with the king and then we play F3 and it's a win. Right. As simple as that. Oh, I see. Ryan says something. Okay, Ryan, we will connect you here. Ryan will, if I get a chance to click on Ryan's name, but it's a fortress. I can't click because everybody is sending messages. All right, Brian, tell us, please, how does white save this game? Aha. White will now change the direction of the rook. We will send the rook in the back. And black's little problem here is that, yeah, this would just be an elementary draw, right, Brian? Aha. Yeah, that's easy to understand, like Philidor's defense. So what black would love to do is to give check and then push the pawn. But here you can see the problem. Black is lacking space for the king, right? For the rook, sorry. I cannot play F3 now. I need to move away the rook. I'm just one tempo away from winning. But of course, Brian will play Rook G8, and it's a dead draw now because the king is coming. So that's the reason why Alg was right and Vish, who said the other move. Yeah, thanks, Brian. So back to Alg. Tell us, please, what was the first move? Exactly. No, not there, please, but a little further away if possible. You can actually play Rook C3 also, but usually we say the further away, the better. The rooks really like the edges of the board, right? That's important to understand. Rooks like the edge of the board. That's what Smyslov played in the game. He had patience here. He knew that white had no real good plan at this point. No good way of saving their game here. What's happened in the game? Yeah, he just waited here, Rook C1. And the rest is simple, right? Who was playing here? Alk. Please go ahead, Alk. Now we play G3. And the next move is, of course, very important. We need to have the F pawn. No, so basically we're saying that the more to the center, the stronger the pawns in Rook endgames, right? The Rook pawn is usually like the worst pawn. The G pawn is not so good either. Yeah, if we make this sad mistake, of course, it's just a simple draw. Why does that happen? Well, I'm sorry if I'm boring you with this, but again, we're talking space again. I'm sorry, but this comes up all the time. Here we don't have enough space to, yeah, you know what to do what. Okay. We will look at this. Please go ahead. Very basic plan, but it's good to know this. Please go ahead. Aha, go for it. Who is playing here? It's Brian. No, so Rook check first. Please don't play Rook H2 because then I can play Rook C3, and you will have to do this all over again, right? Because you cannot push the pawn right now. So Rook G2 first, of course. This is very basic. Everybody should know this. No matter if I go here or there, the answer is going to be the same, right? That's right. So that's the extra space that we needed, right? If you see what I mean. That's why we win this endgame, because we have that extra angle for our pieces, and we win this game with Rook H1 next turn. And we don't have that if we take with a king, with a pawn, sorry, on G3, which would be like a dreadful mistake, no? Because you cannot do this anymore. You don't have enough space for this. So, yeah. Nice play by Smyslov. No, first, we move away the rook so that we have enough space. No, so that if white does Brian's plan here, you can see the difference now. Since our rook is far away, of course, now we would give the check and play F3, and we are winning, right? Last move here is not difficult before you push the pawn. Anyone, what should black play, of course? Aha, rook E1. Exactly. Intermediate checks in the endgame, very important. And then we are simply bringing our king this way and we are queenie. So nice play by Swislov. He took with the king so that he had extra space. Yeah. So far, very basic examples. Maybe you're saying, hey, I got into the wrong class. This is too simple. I know everything about this, but it's not bad to repeat also, like go over basic things like brushing up your endgame knowledge. I have seen strong players forgetting about launching Philidor's defense, things like that. So this can happen in the best of families now. It's important to brush up your endgames because you don't get endgames in every game, right? So you can tend to forget about that. All right, we will continue. More space. This one is also very basic, but I thought we should do it, right? We should do it because it's important for us in our endgame battles to know about things like this. So I'm just asking you for the two next moves here. Not so difficult. Black to save this endgame. White has the most dangerous pawn, the central pawn. So you need to be careful here. That's right, L, Elephant, GM, Brian, HDI. If you play that Rohan, do you still make a draw? I'm not sure. I don't think so. We will talk about that, all right? Quokky, Ashwin, Queen Alapin, Slayer, Young Jiao, Richard, and so on, Razor Bill. All right, Razor, you can tell us what should Black play here. Very important to play this move. What happened with Razor? Here is Razor, right? Rook A1, we need space for the Rook. We have to put the Rook on exactly that file, because when White's king gets closer, we need a lot of checking space. It's basically the same thing as we saw in the other one, right? That we saw in the other one, the one with the first one that we looked at here in this series of Rook endgames. This one, right? We needed a vertical space here, right? When we played Rook G8, we needed vertical space for the king. But on this occasion, what we need is horizontal space. Let's come back to Razor. So Razor played here the move Rook A1, if I'm not mistaken, and I tried Rook D8 to... If I can get my pawn to the 7th rank, I win, right? So I think you have to play here Rook A8. This is... Yeah, I was a kid when I learned this, many years ago. The Rook should stay on that file to stop King E8. I think those of you who said Rook A6 here, I think I have bad news for you. I think I win with King here, and I'm checking you, right? So you move the king and I play E7. I think this must be a win, right? You should not play like that, if I'm not mistaken. Check and come here. And anyone would White play here? Oh, it was a draw, really? I think White wins here. You just bring out the Rook, right? Or no, Rook D6, exactly. And you have a space for the king here, I was going to say. King G7. Oh, it's a draw? I'm sorry, ignorance completely here in this case. Maybe it's a draw then. I thought it was winning. Maybe you're right then. No, I think it's winning. No, Rook here. Right? I think it's winning, yeah. This is winning because when you give check, I come here. You play the Rook here. I come there. You play like this. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it goes like that and I win by that. Right? Or no? Yeah, this for sure is winning. Yeah, and I just run away, right? And I'm queenie. So, yeah, this will be winning. I'm pretty sure that you have to play Rook A8 here. And there was this famous game. Yeah, who played this game? Where they tricked Black in this game. How did they do? They did something clever with the Rook here. What was the thing they did with the Rook here? They played something like Rook D6, and I can't really remember this. Anyone remembers how does this work? Like they played like this, and they put the Rook here. Yeah, I think it was like that. Somebody did this trick or something like that. And Black should just go back, right? But they played instead Rook here. No, it's not like that, right? Yeah, Carson Aronian, exactly. Queen Alapis Slayer. I'm trying to remember how that worked. How did Aronian trick Carson on that occasion? It was like that, and he must have played something like he lost a tempo or something. He lost a tempo in some way, right? And then suddenly he played Rook D6. Yeah, I can't really figure this out, how this happened. But he lost the tempo, something like this. And then at some point he played Rook D6, and I think Carson forgotten he played Rook A7, and White won with King there, and now E7 cannot be prevented, right? Because it comes with check. Is that the right way to say it, or no? I tried this as white against Titan chess, but Titan chess knew all the right defensive moves. I see. I think it works like that, yeah. Now you're in trouble because... why are you in trouble, by the way? You're in trouble because you can't stop e7 from happening. But if you just keep the rook on the back rank, nothing can go wrong, right? Then you just keep waiting with the king. I think that's the right technique. So anyway, I hope we can agree on this, right? We can agree on this. Maybe we should do a very quick recap here on this one, just to make sure we understand that the black rook badly needs space in this case. Okay, you get 10 seconds, so you better be 5 seconds, yeah, so you better be fast on this occasion, right? Aha, good work by Rohan, Gordon, Queen, Lapis, Slayer, and so on. Everybody got it right. Congratulations. Let's see something from practice. No time. Yeah, I know. I didn't give you much time, Chess Crusher. This is a practical endgame. It was played some 20 years ago in Canada. Grandmaster with black, Liocchi. Yeah, you can imagine what black played here. Of course, they played the move d3. So if it's your turn here, guys, how would you play with the white pieces? It shouldn't be too difficult since we already saw this with the reversed colors. But just in case, I'm checking your... Oh, I think I know how it goes now. Yeah, exactly. That's how it goes. All right. You get 30 seconds for this, okay? Careful with the last move, though. Careful with the last move. Aha, good work. Many of you got it right. Don't give me that check. Happy Paul, Zakpan, Ashwin, Liukoko, Rohan. Oski, you got it. Ginia, Dada, Santos, GM, and so on. Nicole. Aha. All right, Nicole, tell us then, how would you continue here with the white pieces? How can white fix a draw in this position? I think it's the string of only moves that will help us here. We need space for the rook, so we should, of course, go to the H file. I'll try rook e1. I'm threatening king d1, so you better move fast here. Yeah, I cannot play king d1 here, right, Nicole? That's important to understand. Perhaps I should have mentioned this also. Yeah, this creates the threat of d2. But of course, aha, Rohan, you're right. King c3, and we make a draw here. So, all right, I'll try rook e2 instead. And here, this is the game, right? This is the game. So here the Grandmaster played... what did he play here? He played rook e3, I think. So that's the moment where we can make a big mistake. But Nicole did not make a mistake. What did Nicole play here? I think it's the only move, king b3. It's the only way you can wait here. You need to keep the rook like that on the h file. Don't play rook here, because I think black could play something like rook there maybe, right? And I can take the seventh rank, the second rank perhaps. Is that how it goes? Or is there some other explanation why this would be wrong? Yeah, I'm wondering. Maybe there is some other explanation. Oh, I see. Yeah, I just checked my files. Yeah, the reason is not that. The reason is that you play... now you move over, I think. Now you play rook e1, I think, at this point. Aha, now you play rook e1, and now white will be lacking space for their attack, right? We can come closer, and in the end... Correct me if I'm wrong. We have king f3. So this wouldn't work if the rook was on h2, right? In that case, you would make a draw with king c3. I hope you see what I mean. That this is exactly where we are missing the space for our space again. Yeah, exactly. So don't play rook there, please. And Nicole said the right move. Yeah, king b3. Sorry, I played rook e3. So king b3 is the right choice. We just make sure that we keep the rook on this side. And if I go king e2 here, Nicole, what would you play here simply? Yeah, it's making no sense, right? It's making no sense, I think, at this point. You can just go back with the king, right? I think. Aha. Yeah, we can just go back with the king. And if they play d2, we have king c2. And we have the checks again, right? I think so, yeah. Or maybe there is a smarter move. Yeah, king c3 should also be okay, right? Maybe that's simpler. Yeah. King c3 should also be fine. But in the game, I think they played, or is this some other game? Rook H2. I think that's what happened in Corsa's game. And now black wins. So anyone? What would black play here? Yeah, not very difficult, I think, for you guys who are very clever. You can figure out what will go wrong for black in this, for white in this case. All right, I'll do this very quickly. Sorry, it's a little slow on my side now. I don't know why this happened. Yeah, now. Aha, exactly. Moon Juggle, Tiger Sahi, Super, Heuristic Mind, Sheng, Sarthak, Zakpan, and so on. D2 is also fine. Sure, D2 can also be played. Please go ahead, Moon Juggler. How was your approach here? Oh, sorry, I got the wrong person. Let's see. Yeah, D2 is fine also. Yeah, perfectly fine. It's not a mistake, of course. King D1, that's the important move. Suddenly, we cannot play King C3 because the Rook is on the third rank. We saw this already in the other example, right? We saw it already. Aha. What would happen here? Who is playing, by the way? Who did I give the pawn to? Moon Juggler. Please go ahead, Juggler. What should black play here? We're waiting. Oh, Moon Juggler is on vacation, I think. Yeah, D2, of course. And we managed to bring the pawn because it's check, right? So, yeah, King D1, that's how black wins here because now, inevitably, the pawn is coming to... And exactly, the pawn is coming to D2, so black wins here. Yeah, you can play D2 or Rook E2. It's up to you guys. Both will work perfectly fine. So, nice. Let's leave the Rook endgames for a short while. Let's wait a little. And what did I have in mind? Let me see here. Yeah, so let's go back a little to the pawn endgames. Let's continue talking about vertical space. Here we had horizontal space, right? We were saying that white needs space for their defense to work. They need to have a rook on this side so that there is not enough space horizontally, right? Like that. But now we will continue with vertical space, okay? So here we go. I wanted to show you one pawn endgame. Vavulin with white and Ivan Šarić with the black pieces. Šarić was able to win this endgame with the black pieces, and I would like to see if you can figure out how he won it. Please notice we're talking about space here. Black is very happy about this extra space that they have gained, and they exploited it perfectly in this game. So, all right, let's see if you can figure this out. Very nice endgame. Let's see if we can get this right. It's very slow. I don't know. Chessable, after a while, it gets like slower. But it's a great place, Chessable Classroom. Maybe it's my old computer which can't stand it. So I think you get 1 minute and 20 on this one, all right? So take your time, guys. Take your time. Don't send me any moves. I told you, Nicole. I told you, Skilled Saber, Super Tude. Don't send me the moves after 5 seconds. So how can you have that approach to endgames? You have at least 30 seconds increment on the clock, right? Take your time. Take your time. I can see your point, but you need to look into it. What's black's plan here? How can black possibly win this? Is it one of those endgames where we enter with the king, like by opposition, or is it about some other more refined idea that we can win this endgame? So, okay, we have some winners here. Our KDK, L, Darial, Richard, Toriches, Michael, JV Namra, congratulations. To all of you, you took your time and you noticed the small nuances here. Aha, very nice. Quocky also got it, Connor, and so on. Excellent. One thing I want to mention here is that when you would like to win time, waste time, sorry, you want to waste the tempo, if you can use the king, that's usually better, no? we usually say that waiting moves with the king are usually preferable, since these don't expire, if you see what I mean. Pawn moves, they expire, no? Pawn moves. So use them with care. Whenever you can make a waiting move with the king, it's better, no? Triangulation is one technique, you're right, in that case. So, okay, we will ask somebody here. Richard, please go ahead, Richard. Can you tell us how should black continue here? In the first place, we would like to lose the tempo. How can we do that? Or you cannot move the pieces, Richard. Yeah, you certainly can, right? So if you play, by the way, those of you who said G5, if you play G5, I will play H3. Why is this so important? Well, I mean, in some way, I'm kind of zugzwanging you, right? If you cannot really progress properly in this position. Your dream would be to drive away my king so that you can make the pawn break work, right? We will come to that. What does it matter if the move order is changed? Yeah, like if you play, this would be bad for black, right? To trade off the pawns, and I'm coming down first with the king, right? Something like that. So no way white will lose there, of course. We need to play on both sides. So G5, H3, it's hard to understand how that would work. You wanted to play A5 here. No, how can that work? I don't understand. I take and my king is safe enough now. I'm running and I'm winning by many tempo here. Can you do G4 instead of A4? Can you do G4 instead of A4? I'm not sure I understand. You want to play G4 when? Oh, move 4. All right, we're coming down. So please go ahead again, do it, Richard. Sorry. Richard said King G4. Yeah, so you're coming this way. If you can make me go to G1, that means that suddenly your breakthrough idea will become more interesting because my king will be further away from the deep pawn. Yeah, we will come to that. So white played in the game King G2. And you can play King H4 first. Yeah, if you said that, it's also working, of course. Yeah, it's a matter of choice. No, you can play King H4 first. And after H3, we got the Zugzwang. No, we got the Zugzwang. Right? Aha. You cannot go A4 while my king is here, I think. You cannot play A4 here, whoever said that. Yeah, this is not going to work, right? I'm still inside the square, and I have my own pass pawn now, right? So this is just an attempt to lose the game instead. I think maybe you're losing here or some kind of queen skewer in the end, right? So don't do that, please. Don't do that. That's a bad way to lose the game. So King H4 or G5, it's a choice that black has here. We're coming here. White has to play King H2. And only now when the king has left the building, now we can do it. Exactly. Now we go A4. That's exactly what the Grandmaster did in this game. And he wins here by 1 tempo, right? He wins by 1 tempo. You can see clearly here the space motif, right? Because we had more space from the very beginning. We are able to queen. And white does not queen because we had all that space. So basically you could say, I think we will talk about this next time, but basically you could say that when, let's say in the middle game, right? Let's say in the middle game that black played B4. It's a good move for many reasons, but it's even good in the long run, in the endgame perspective, that if you get to some endgame later, that space can even help you to win like a pawn race, right? So I looked at this also just for fun. I looked at it from the other, I moved the pieces upwards just for fun. So yeah, this is understandable to everybody. And if you now use the same position, but you put it like this instead, you can, of course, imagine that it's not the same thing anymore, right? So yeah, just in case, no, if we try the same thing here, King G5, and we try to win in the same way, like this, you can imagine that this is not going to be the same thing, right? It's now suicidal to play A5, as you can imagine, no? Now we should not do this, right? I think white's winning if you play like that. All right, we can make a quiz from here just to see who can figure this out. I don't think it's going to be that difficult, but I thought it was still nice. It's completely off topic, of course, but it's still kind of interesting. So we didn't see any queen endgames today, so now we will have one. So let's see who is smartest here in this little endgame. But it's really basic. It's really basic. So you will find it, I think. Let's see here. If I can get this right. Yeah, I think that's it. So you get only, how much time should I give you? 35 seconds, all right? No, I don't think you can play that. You can? Oh, you can maybe also. Oh, I see. Maybe I got it wrong there. I thought the other way was simpler, but to queen sooner, I mean. Uh-huh. Oh, you're right then. Yeah, very silly from me then. Yeah, you're right, of course. You could play like that also. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, good point. Everything wins then. Yeah, that was a silly quiz. I agree. I just saw one line which I liked, but everything else wins also. Yeah, you're right. Sorry about that, guys. You can, of course, take the pawn. Yeah. You can take the pawn, and you even have a choice if you want to pick up the king. Pick up the pawn with the king, or you could just continue to run and mate me in the end. Yeah, you're right. I saw something else, but yeah, my variation was, sorry, I'm trying to draw a line here, but it takes ages. Yeah, why not queen e5? Yeah, sure. Many ways to win here. Yeah, sorry about this silly quiz. I guess my only point here was to show you that once the space has changed in white's favor, black cannot play for a win anymore. But this did not happen because in the game, what Saris did was he pushed b4 much earlier. So he had gained space much earlier in this game. Yeah, this was a very silly quiz. I agree completely. Uh-huh. So multiple answers here. So anyway, this is the one that we were talking about. We win the game if we simply force them to put their king away from this side of the board, right? That's the plan that we're having here. Yeah, exactly. To bring the king in this way, and then we are ready to play a4. So all right, let's see if I can show you something else. Yeah, let's take one more example, right? Let's take one more example. So this one is also very interesting, and we will have a piece that we haven't looked at today. So you will see that this comes up also in other types of endgames. So look what we have here. It's opposite color bishops endgame. Lucas Van Forest with white and Vlachos with the black pieces. You're playing with the black pieces here. I would like to know how you think that black should continue at this point. It's really slow on my side. Yeah, why does this happen? But let's see if we can understand this together. I don't think it will be very difficult for you. Please don't give away answers in the chat while I'm trying to bring this up. Let's see if I can get this right. Something like that. Yeah, I think that will be enough for us. Okay. I'll give you 1 minute for this mission. Okay, 1 minute. Here we go. So, black's best continuation, please. Don't play that chess crusher or KDK. I can do a fortress there. Careful with the wacky hill. Wow, so fast. Congratulations. Wish you got second place. Many of you are forgetting about white's fortress idea. Yeah, this is not really the topic that I was going to show today, but okay, we will talk about it briefly. In opposite color bishops endgames, you can be 2 pawns down, for instance, and still make a draw if you arrange your pawns and bishop on the same color, and they can't progress now. So we have 4 winners here so far: Waki, Vish, Sheng, and Rohan. You have all found the solution here. Pretty simple. Yeah, say that to all of the like 25 students who got it wrong. But I guess these 25 students, they just forgot about white's little sacrifice here. So meanwhile, you can think about how can white sack a pawn and stay alive here. How can that happen? Yeah, quite basic, I would say, but very useful. So F2 might win also. Yeah, sure. Somebody is complaining here. Yeah, Chess Samurai and Brian and so on. Yeah, sure. You can play F2. Oh, sorry, I forgot about that move. You're right. Yeah. F2 is, of course, better. Sorry about that. I guess that happens sometimes when you don't prepare your material with the computer and so on. Let's ask Waki about this. Please go ahead, Waki. You can do this very quickly. How does black win here? We have the typical pawn break, extremely important in this kind of endgame. We have to do this before white gets a chance to put the bishop on. Before all of those who said king d3, I'm very sorry, but I make a draw. effortlessly like this, right? I put my bishop here and I can just wait. You cannot produce a Zugzwang here because if your king goes that way, of course, I can then move the bishop instead. I can just come back and so on. You cannot produce a Zugzwang here. No, how hard you try, it's not going to work. I could play something like this now, for instance, since I only have to look after one pawn, right? Or something like that. Name it as you like. So Wok is right, of course. Yeah, Lucas Van Forest, the younger brother, I think. All right, let's see how Lucas continued here. He took with the pawn, with the c pawn, and yeah, now we're ready to, before they get a chance to safeguard their pawns, we are getting ready to take the pawn on b2 is, of course, the pawn that we would like to take. Please go ahead, Woki. Exactly. This is not very difficult. So I think I made a mistake here. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, people were complaining that f2 wins on the spot. Yeah, I'm very sorry about that. I just looked at this. But okay, we will come back to that. We'll come back to that. You can also take the pawn, Woki. You're probably right. I would not do that, though. I don't see the need for that, but it will also win the game, of course, because you have f2. But beware that we will come back to this with more space on the board, and you will see the difference, okay? You will see the difference. So in any case, we understand what's going on here. Black wins by this very pretty pawn break. Aha, b4, no matter how white takes. If I take with the a pawn, it's not a big improvement because then you will, of course, go and take the... Aha, we take that pawn instead, and it's even easier to queen this pawn because white's own pawns, they don't let the bishop control the queening square, right? So that's a basic idea, but very useful, this b4 move. So b4, king d3, just one last look at this. And as we could see here, white does not make it to bring the bishop to a good defensive post. They would make a draw effortlessly if this pawn didn't exist, right? They would just play bishop f6 and protect that pawn, right? Like that. I'm trying to draw this, but it takes so long time. Yeah, exactly. But I can't do that now, of course, because the black bishop is superbly placed on d5, right? So yeah, white's dead lost here. So that's what happened in the game. He saw this. Yeah, he saw this Vlachos evidently in the game. And now, of course, everybody knows what I'm going to show next, right? Everybody can imagine what I'm going to show you next. You can see the space that black gained here in this game. Very cleverly, they gained the space. Next class, we will look at how in the middle game you can start visualizing this kind of situation already in the middle game. So you know what I'm going to show now. Here we go. Now we go here again. You get the same situation, but look what happened. I gave white an extra rank, right? White got an extra rank. What do you think now? Will b5 win? Anyone? Winning, perhaps. Yeah, king d4, you know the answer, right? I will just play bishop b8 and put my bishop on b5. We don't need to talk too much about that. We saw that. Yeah, thanks, Woki. Great analysis. Yeah, exactly. So what if we try instead with b5? Anyone? b5 is the best structural chance. Yeah, maybe. So let's have a look. Yeah. Anyone votes? Take with C or take with A? Better to take with C because the A pawn is more dangerous, right? So we better take with C. Black plays in exactly the same way, and here you can already spot the first difference. I'm trying to do this, but it's so slow on my side. Yeah, I don't know what happens. We can note the first difference. I think Michael said this. Alvi also said it, and some other people are saying this. Exactly. Suddenly we can play this move. That did not make sense last time, right? It would have been very silly to put the bishop on c1, if you see what I mean. That would have been extremely silly. In the other position here, if we go back to this one, and black played b4, c takes b4, king d3. Yeah, you would laugh at this move. Laughable, no. What a silly move. They just go king c2. We don't have bishop d0. That's the move we're missing here, right? But in the other example, we have it, right? Now we don't. Now it's white who's laughing here after b5, if you play like that, right? We can easily make a draw here with zero effort if we play like that. And we're just coming this way, right? As simple as that. And black should be careful already here. I think black has only one move with, let's see here, king d2. You see, we have more space, bishop e2. And I think black must be careful here. Black has only one move to make a draw. Anyone? Could anyone, it's off topic now, but could anyone tell me the only move to make a draw with black? Yeah, think about white's ideas. What is white up to here? I don't get any answers, sorry. King c3, exactly. You have to play king c3. You have to play king c3 so that you can come back with the king. But now you're playing to save your life instead, right? You're preventing king e4. If instead you played king c2, you lose the game, because then white can enter with the king after bishop c4, right? I hope everybody understands the point here. The bishop comes to perfect place and suddenly white is winning. They will bring in their king. And as you can see, suddenly also white's bishop is taking good care of the f pawn, right? So yeah, that's important to understand. So that's one good answer here. If we move all the pieces one step up, suddenly it's not working anymore, b5, because white can just take, and after king d4, it's a simple approach here to just play bishop c2, and we have an extra square for our bishop. But I also looked a little at b6, and this would also make a draw here, because we have simply more space. Now you see my point, right? In the other endgame, f2 was winning, right? But here, as you can see, white is actually able to stop the pawn with bishop d3. So the game gets completely messy here. You can see for yourself. It's a crazy game now, but probably white is not worse here. Now, chances are that white can even win this. Black will have to be very careful. So I hope this makes sense, guys, that we understand the difference now. White is fine with space here, so this is not so dangerous. But in the other case, well, we just looked this one. Let's see here, this one. Black wins with a smart b4 move, simply because white is running out of space. So, all right. I hope we understand this. It got a little slow on my side, the classroom, but I think that's it for today. First class about space. Thanks everyone who attended today. Thanks to Greg Shahadi and Chess at USCS. Thanks also to Chess Dojo, to chess.com, to Chessable, and so on. Thanks everyone. Bye-bye.